All right, mow crawler. So we're still working on the Phoenix, the Phoenix portal kit. We're on to bag F. This is drive shafts, obviously. And it looks like we're going to be building the drive shafts and hooking them up to the axles. And looks like we're going to kind of end up, hopefully, by the end of this video, with a slider, which is kind of exciting. This build is taking more time than I thought it would. The transmission was a little more challenging. I've never built a twin before. So let's see. So I know we're going to need 2 of those. And we also need 2 of these. So I don't think we're going to use 2 of these. You have to use these castles, these castle ends on the transmission end, at least on the VFD or the VRD. I know that because I tried to use one of these guys on the front drive shaft of the VRD, and it would not work. And I thought I had screwed something up, and I actually sent a text to Vanquish customer service and said, I think I screwed this up, or this is not working, and I don't know what I did wrong. And of course, something they probably deal with pretty regularly. So the guy said, can you send me a picture of what you're talking about? So I did, and he was like, yeah, you got to use the castle on that particular connection. And he was right. As soon as I put the castle in there, everything worked perfectly. So so we got to build these drive shafts. We're going to need some pins and some of these guys. So this is saying, okay, so yeah, this is going to be, and we need a 30 millimeter. So I think it's this guy. Yep. So we're going to go down there. And so if you guys have not built drive shafts before, I'm going to put a little Loctite on here. The Vanquish drive shafts are some of the best out there. They are extremely similar to Traxxas. And I think Traxxas are some of the best out there as well. So, okay, we got to put one of these guys in here. Then we do this. Then we do a pin. Then we do the cap. And that's one of them. And now we're going to connect it to the front drive shaft. And it has these shims shown. So we're going to slide it on there and see what kind of gap we have. Boy, there's not much of one. But I do have those shims. So there's 4 of them. And they actually came in the bags with the axles. So we'll throw one on here and see what our fitment is like once it's on there. So that's tight. And there is just a little bit of movement still. So let's throw a second 0.2 shim on. and see what kind of difference that makes, because we do have 4 of them, so we could do 2 on either side. I don't think it would take more than 2 on either side to tighten up any slop. And yeah, that's going to be real close. Like, that might not go, but it might. And it does. So let's, boy, that's real tight. Yeah, I think that's good. So the last thing we're going to do is back this out. Last thing we're going to do is back this out, and we're just going to touch this guy into the Loctite and go back in. Because we don't want this one to back out. More than one trail day has been ruined when those guys back out and then disappear immediately. Of course they're going to disappear immediately, right? So now we need a 35 millimeter. So that guy's too short. It's got to be one of these guys, yeah. Yeah, so there's a 35 millimeter. So we need to build this one. We need one of these. Little Loctite. We've got that guy set up, so let's pull our rear axle over. So we got that. Go in here with the barrel. Get it turned. Go out here with a... what happens next? Yeah. Yeah, this guy. Let me do a pin. And we do another one of these guys. So now we got it right. So let's go ahead and throw both of these shims on there. Let's just start with 2 shims, because I think hopefully that's the ticket. Go on. Yeah, I can see through. So this time we're going to dip this guy. We're going to get a little over our skis here. And we're going to pretend like this is going to work right out the gate. And I think it did. So that's a rarity where we get out over our skis and we go, this is going to work this time. And it actually does. And yeah, that's real tight. So whenever I pull on this, I get basically no movement between this piece and this piece. All the movement that I'm getting is back here in the drive shaft itself in that barrel situation, so which is normal. So that's actually awesome. So that appears to have all worked. So now we need, it looks like the front drive shafts on these are real short, real short. So we need another 30 mil, which is this little guy. So yeah, we need to build this one. All right, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right, we kind of made it. I think. Now we need one of these guys. We're going to go ahead and dip him. Not out of hubris that it's going to work this time, but out of hope that we can get this to go and just kind of be finished. turn this. There we go. I think we got it. By golly, I think we got it. All right. That's probably the difficult one. So again, we're doing another 35. That's the more difficult one. I think that the back one is easier to access. So I think that one seems long. This one is a 35. So we will build this one up. All right, so that looks like it's going to work pretty well. Little Loctite. There we go. So yeah, on these it looks as though there's a little bit of space, so it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, there's a little bit of space there, and there's quite a bit of play there. But it wouldn't surprise me if these end caps would work in these situations, but on the front it wouldn't, because on the front we're right up against, just like in a VRD, we're right up against, and that's the problem. So it's the thickness of that plastic, how it encapsulates the top. That thickness is too much. You can't get the pin lined up if you do it like that. Okay, I see it. And we're looking for the front upper link, which is this guy. Now I see why we only did 2 screws on this side and 3 on the other, because we have the front upper link. Now this is a 3-link and panhard setup. Oh boy. So we've only got 1 front upper link. Boy, that's tight. That's a real tight. That's why it won't turn. It's like, man, this thing is acting crazy. This thing is acting crazy. I think we're gonna be, we're almost definitely gonna be a little off. Oh, oh no, 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 no. Man, this thing is a real pain. Real pain. That might be right. That might be about right. It seems to be going. It's definitely into the ball now. Into the ball end, so. But that is definitely not straight. So I think we need to come down on the back side. Well, I think it worked, regardless of what it looks like. Okay. Front upper in place. What do we got next? Front lowers. So front lowers. We're gonna need 20s. That's a 20. Yeah, cap head. That's a 20. And we are going back here. Really, that's going to come out directly under the front, directly under the upper. Wow. See, now these holes are more appropriately sized. The slots. We're somehow out of shape there, it looks like. Let's see. Need to come a bit like that. Let's see. There we go. We got in there. I saw it jump into the right position. So yeah, that front lower is positioned like directly below, almost, the front upper, which is, I mean, it's going to work, or they wouldn't have designed it like that, right? But still, it's a little interesting, I guess. All right, let's see. Yeah, that one started pretty easily. All right, so the front links are on, not including the panhard, of course, but that's all the front links. Now we're going to do the panhard. So the panhard is going to go right here. And we're going to do a 16, which is that guy. So we're going to come in here and do a 16 front to back, and then we're going to add a nylock nut. So we're going to need a 2 and the wrench. And yeah, that's not a great angle. But that's going to work, I believe. So front uppers, front lowers, and panhard. And looks like we did the panhard correctly. So now we got to do the page shuffle, which means we got to take all this stuff off. We got to grab up. Okay, those can go there. Grab up all these guys. It's amazing to think we're going to use all these. It seems like a lot of hardware. Like how in the world could you use that much hardware? You're just slapping on some links, right? Like it doesn't seem like it would take that much, but I'm pretty sure it will, because I'm pretty sure they've got their all their shit in one sock, so to speak. As far as Vanquish, they do a pretty good job. So, oh, now I got to figure out. Well, we know what the tie rod looks like, right? The tie rod's pretty unique. But I do want to pull this back. I'm certain this is the drag link, but I want to put it on the thing. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. 25 millimeter, that's this guy. We're going to go if I understand this correctly, we're going to need a little bit of Loctite. Still got that out because we're going into metal. Because we have, again, replaced these front knuckles with brass. So we're going to get that guy lined up. We're going to go through here. And I don't think he needs to be as long as he is. He's going to stick out the bottom a little bit. But hey, if that's the way they want it. I'm 3x16, which is maybe that guy. Yep. Come over this side. Little Loctite. Come on, little buddy. There we go. Seeing he doesn't stick through the bottom. This guy does, which I don't love that. Oh, so now we're going to attach shocks as well. Okay, 20s, flat 20s are what's going to attach our shocks. It looks like, come here. All right. So let's grab. Let's grab a set of shocks. We're going to go spacer ball out. We're going here. Crank that steering over so we can see and reach and get to everything. One shock on. And then we'll crank that steering the other direction. Grab another shock. Ball to the outside. our spacer to the outside, so we're moving the shock closer to the chassis, or closer to the inboard side, I guess. And we need another 20. Make sure. Yep. Oh, come on. There we go. It's like I know we're not quite lined up, but I gotta get a driver into it so I can kind of get it to go. So we're going into metal here, which I didn't realize until we got to this point, but we probably could use some Loctite on there. But we're just gonna go with it for now. So I would say I'll come back and put Loctite on it later, but I won't. I'll totally forget that. I will totally forget that. So we need a 40, one of these guys, which is that guy. And we're going to need 3 16s. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, and the lower links go there. I see it. Just a lot of moving parts. We gotta clock them too, so we have to make sure our drive shafts are in phase. So let's bring that guy straight up. Bring that guy straight up, which it really doesn't want to, but there we go. There we go. Grab one of our 16s. There we go. Once we get the upper link in place, we should be able to rock that drive shaft into position where it will stay together somewhat. And once we get that to kind of hold together, then I want to make sure my panhard is over here because it's going to go over there eventually, and I don't want to get myself in a position where I can't get it there, right? Get the shock on the outside, and this is just kind of how this goes. It's kind of fiddly. Let's get the drive shaft in. Okay, the drive shaft is in now. And now we should be able to get this lower link. And then if we can get this lower link, that will kind of hold us so that we can do the rest. I believe this is a 16 as well. I think they all said 16. So once we get this guy in and holding, and this is going into metal, and I'm not putting Loctite on it, which is bad. You know, it went in easy enough. Because I will forget. That is the honest truth. I will forget. And that thing will back out on the trail, and I'll be mad. Because I knew I should have. So now that that's in, I think we can go here with this guy and get our other 16 that we sent sailing somehow. Where did you go, other 16? He went somewhere. Let's verify. Yep, okay. That other 16 went somewhere. We'll find him one of these times. One of these days when we need a 16, he'll pop back up. So here I am. I just didn't want to be a part of that Phoenix debacle that you were working on at the time. So we've got upper and lower links now. And drive shaft. And the drive shaft is phased properly, I think. I hope. So it's not, we are going to have to go back and fix that. So there's that 16. That's where he ran off to. Okay. So we've got those things in place. Now, so there's a 12, which is that little guy. It is. I don't understand that at all. Oh, that's going here. But does he go on the outside or the inside? He must go on the outside, I think. Yeah, I think he goes on the outside. Well, that's almost impossible to get to. Is that right? Could that be right? Let's get that guy out of the way. I mean, it could be right. I don't know that it is right, but it could be right. It doesn't look so wrong that you go, there's no way. There's no way that's right. It's close enough where you go, it could be right. Okay, so I think we have our panhard now in place. Looks like there's definitely some axle swing. We'll bring this around. And this has us going up to our servo, which I don't think I want to do just yet. No, that's the shock hitting. Okay, I was like, something's happening here. Ooh, oh, okay. Yeah. That seems about right. So now what? So at 12, that's our, one of our little weird guys. He's got this one bolting to our, okay. So in 20s, which are these guys? got those holding our shocks into our shock towers. So, coming from the back side. Coming from the back side. Going into our shock towers. There's only one hole. So there's 0 adjustment range on these shock towers. There's a hole and that's where they go and that's what you got. So, I mean, as long as they're right, it's fine, yeah. Well, that's frustrating. So as long as they're right, as long as they're the angle and everything that you're looking for, that's all good. But if you don't like it, if you don't like the ride height or anything else, it's not great. I'm sure there are aftermarket shock towers available for this guy. If you really didn't like the ride height, but boy, there's just not much. I mean, there's almost no articulation there. I mean, everything's got to work, of course, because it is a kit and it is designed to work, but so the Panhard and Draglink are not precisely parallel. They are the same length. They're pretty close to parallel. I mean, I think they did a good job with the front end geometry for chassis mounted steering. There is axle swing. It appears that the axle's pushed off to the side. That's probably a link issue. Probably have one of the links longer than the other. There's a lot of axle swing. Yeah. So, hey, you know, it is what it is at this point. Let's see what we got for the next part. The next part's going to be, they got us doing the rear links. I'm going to flip him over for this, I think. Okay, so these are the uppers. Rear uppers are going to go up here, I believe. Yes. With 20s. I believe these are 20s. They are up here. Okay. I was like, wait a second. And like the front upper, this thing is crazy tight. I can see it, so it's in there. But you would think they would run those so that they're almost flush, but they don't. There we go. Looks somewhat close. It's pretty stinking tight. And similar to the other, so we're going to guess that that's correct. Now we're on to getting the rear axle going. We've only got, oh, we've got to do the lowers too, yeah. Okay, and we've got those going onto the chassis, so 20s again. It's these guys. We're going to do the lowers right here. Around. Same thing on this side. There we go. Now we need a 50 millimeter, so I'm guessing it's this one. Yes, it is. Now, let's see, where are we? I want to get this guy with the screw straight up and down. Oh. Yep. Okay, so the uppers are going to get this big honking guy, the 35, which is this guy. So we'll do the uppers and a lock nut first, and then we'll fight with the drive shaft and get all of that in place. So the uppers are going to come together and go, oh, this is a lock nut, yeah. So we have to pick, I guess. We have to pick if we want it in the higher spot or the lower spot, because it gives us no guidance as far as that goes. Oh. No guidance whether it should be the upper or the lower hole. So we're just going to guess and go on the upper. This would be much easier if I could see. And there we go. It seems like an excessive amount. Well, maybe not. Now we just got to get the wrench on here. Get the wrench on the nut and tighten her down. So that's that part. I'm going to flip this thing over. We were supposed to put our shocks on, weren't we? Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. That's all right. We are going to, so that was up. So that is up. We're going to get this drive shaft together. And we're going to get our lower links on. And they're going to go on the bottom. What length? 16s. Well, there's a 16. And there's another 16. What do you know? We're going to get these links on. We did this wrong. We were supposed to put our shocks on already. But that's okay. We're going to get all these links on. And then we'll put our shocks on. It's going to be fine, I think. I can't think of a scenario where it's not possible to install your shocks later. So I think we're going to be fine. But we're going to find out together. I may be cussing here shortly and taking these screws back out because it's impossible for some reason on a Phoenix to install your shocks after your lower links are installed. But I don't think so. I don't think that would be the case. I've never seen a crawler where that was the case. So we're going to guess that we can do that. So now we got to put our shocks on. So lower. Again, it's got them to the outside. The bigger part of the ball studs. What? 20s. Got to be these guys because we're kind of getting low on hardware now. I said earlier it's amazing. You look at all that hardware, you're like, golly. Do I really need all those screws? Like we're just connecting some links and putting some shocks on. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't seem like there's that much more to do. But you pretty quickly burn through that big bag and go, yeah, they were right. We are going to need all that stuff. So I guess we go from back to front like we did in the front. We can use this guy for these. One more shock, and we're going to have us a slider, my friends. So we need a 20. That is a 20. It seemed big. Did I do that right? No, I spaced that one out. So I did that wrong. It's supposed to be like, no, it's supposed to be like this. I did do that one wrong, though. So yeah, that one's spaced out. Those two are spaced in. This one's spaced in. That one's wrong. That's okay. We'll flip it. We will flip it. this goes. Come on, guy. There we go. All right. Now we gotta pull this guy because we got him. We got that spacer ball backwards, so he's spacing himself out this way, and according to the manual, he needs to space himself in that way. So we're just gonna pull this out. Raise them up, flip them around, right back in the same position. Right back in there. And fixed.